Your considerations and your leverages, hell, dude, your whole future is in your boldness to always raise your hand. Now, I said always, not sometimes, because there are going to be some times where you're going to be on a 0-11 streak, man. And if you base your decision on your last failure, you'll never put yourself in position to succeed. So before we roll out with episode 526, as we always do, man, I need your help powering the show. Number one, man, leave your comments below. I certainly appreciate all the comments, the support. Share the show when you can. Also subscribe, man, to future episodes, not only on the live version, but also, man, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Do me a favor, man. We got thousands and thousands of people out there listen, and I got like 63 subscribers. The goal for June is 100 subscribers, man. On the way to 100,000 by the end of this year. It's an audacious goal, man, but that's cool. Let's put it out there. So let's rock out with today's episode, man. And I'm reading. Those of you who have tuned into the Facebook, the Sales Life Facebook group, know that I'm reading Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent, his book, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. And I read this yesterday, man. He said the person with their hand always up is going to get promoted before you. They're going to get the office before you. They're going to leverage their promotion to a better paying job before you even get a raise. And you may have been better trained. You may have been better prepared. But you didn't let the world see that because you were too scared. The fear is going to stop you from getting full value for your work. Don't ever let that happen. It's a great book so far, man. And this is his second book. This is his first solo project. He wrote a book with Robert Greene, the 48 Laws of Power, 48 Laws of Attraction, and it was the 50th Law. I think that was the name of it, the 50th Law with Robert Greene and 50 Cent. So I urge you to check that one out also. And the point of bringing all this up, man, is you can't show the world that you're ready unless you're bold enough to raise your hand. You got to be bold enough to raise your hand. And Jackson had a friend of his that they had deep conversations, man. And the guy was like incredibly smart. But for some reason, man, he couldn't break through to the next level in the music industry. And even though him and Jackson had deep conversations, 50 couldn't quite put his finger on it. Why is that? Until one day he brought his friend with him to meet some high-powered, well-polished, cocky music executives. They had the suits, they had the watches, they had the shoes, they had the office. And so 50 brought his friend with him because he said his friend was factually and instinctively better prepared to articulate the vision better than anyone. His friend knew the vision for this project that they had. He knew it better than anybody. And so 50 brought him into the meeting in an effort to blow these executives away. He was just going to blast them out of the room and land the deal. Yet when the executives started asking questions, man, they started throwing out some different ideas. 50 was left alone to field the questions and answer them. His friend just sat back there and didn't say a word. And he sat on his hands. That's when 50 realized, when he couldn't put his finger on why this guy can't break through. He couldn't break through because the guy was afraid of putting the wrong answer out there, of giving the wrong answer. And what's crazy is, man, the guy put in all the work to finally get a shot. And he didn't say a word. He didn't say a word, man, because he lost his faith in himself. And he sat on his hands in the presence of those who were more self-assured. And you got to ask yourself, man, why would those executives even take notice? Why would they even have a reason to keep an eye on them for future projects, even if this one didn't come through? If he wouldn't have sat on his hands, if he would have exposed himself and related all of that knowledge and that passion and that fire, if the guy would have raised his hand and put it out there, his world would be totally different today. Yet he never even raised his hand, man. See, raising your hand grants you choices, while sitting on your hands is going to leave you nothing but leftovers. So if you want more success, bro, if you want to be in a different tax bracket, if you want to be able to say no to deals that are inequitable for you, if you want more freedom, if you're tired of being vulnerable, then raise your damn hand. And it's not like those who raise their hand will always have the right answer. But they're not afraid to have the wrong one either. Because how will you ever learn if you don't raise your hand, bro? How will you ever discover what worked and didn't work if you never even raised your hand to step into the arena? How will you ever be chosen if you don't show that you're the one to be picked? So raise your hand. You want to start a podcast? Raise your hand. Download the Anchor app. It's free. And start your podcast. You want to start a blog or a YouTube channel and get your content out there? Don't worry about the lighting. Don't worry about the green screen. Don't worry about the microphones. Raise your hand. Start doing it. You want to be promoted? Raise your hand and do something worth promoting. You want more customers to buy from you? Volumes and volumes of customers? Then audaciously raise your hand and show them why you're the only option. Your considerations and your leverages, hell dude, your whole future is in your boldness to always raise your hand. Now I said always, not sometimes, because there are going to be some times where you're going to be on a 0-11 streak, man. And if you base your decision on your last failure, you'll never put yourself in position to succeed. So put your hand up and leave it up. And while you do, keep doing the work. And you're going to get it wrong. And you're going to do it wrong in the process. But at least it'll be wrong on the way to being right. The world is looking for someone to pick. And it might as well be the one who's raising his hand. It might as well be you. Remember, never settle. Keep selling your way through life, no matter what. Stay in the sales life.